Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm reviewing the Genesis G70 with the 4-cylinder. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Genesis of Linden for giving me some time with this car. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 28 on the highway, with power outputs being 300 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see how it's kind of raised on either side. You got the Genesis logo front and center. Got the cool split light design here on either side. And then I like how they've made the grille darker in coloration, especially with the silver car. It contrasts all of it very nicely. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 225 by 40 by 19 in the front, and then 255 by 35 by 19 in the rear. Now if you take a look at the wheels, you can see you've got the silver mixed with the metallic gray. Got the cool red brake caliper there as well. Look how the fender pops out a little bit. That's pretty cool looking. Notice the trim piece there is a little bit darker. Then if you take a few steps back, see the side profile. Look at this silver paint. It really pops with all the body lines. Now when it comes to the key fob, Genesis has this new fancy fob. There's this black one and then also have a white one as well, but controls are on the side. You basically have remote start, you've got lock unlock, opening for the hatch, all of that normal stuff. And when I say hatch, I mean trunk because it's a sedan. Similar in size to a BMW 3 Series, so pretty similar practicality when it comes to the storage space and all of that. This one automatically pops up, but you have to let it down yourself. Pretty cool with the taillight design here. You can see 4-wheel drive there on the back, that's cool. I like the covers for the exhaust tips too. But there's the rest of the rear. Now taking a look at the door panel, you can see we've got soft touch here and then down below, and I like the red stitching that goes across. That's really sharp looking. And then here are the seats. Again, you've got all the red stitching throughout. Oh, and I guess we'll pop in, so gotta kind of pop back here. So these cars in this segment aren't necessarily known for their space, but you can fit people in the back. Got some vents here, got USB ports as well. I will say the seats are pretty comfortable. And then headroom back here, solid. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see again the soft touch here. It's cool perforated down below, and then you've got that stitching that goes across. All of our window controls, you've got our mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. Got your memory seat functionality. Blind spot ring with the mirrors too. And then here are the seats. I think it's cool with all the stitching that goes throughout, if you ask me. So you got your gas cap release and all of that. Soft touch on the dash with some more of that red stitching that goes across. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. You can see perforated on either side. You got that cool red stitching as well. Paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed. Got a bunch of practical controls here in the front, including our voice command volume controls. You got adaptive cruise control with the lane centering, and then just traditional stalks on the back. This is cool. The gauge cluster, you can scroll through and see different bits of information on different systems within the car. And then we also have our drive mode select. Doesn't change too much. Obviously it changes with the car, but I'm talking about the gauge cluster, doesn't change too much. Got our backup camera in reverse with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's taking a second to load. There we go. Just skip. So yeah, quick response time with this. So easy enough to use. Lots of red stitching and everything all across the dash. And then down below we've got our physical buttons here for the radio. Got our dual zone climate controls, heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel as well. So the charging area here. Shifter for the 8-speed. Got some cup holders off the side. Drive mode select here with your stability control. See with the parking sensors, your auto hold. It's for the camera, parking brake. It's pretty cool. Like this here with all the stitching and everything on the side. And then speaking of storage, here's your glove box. And then we got this sunglass holder. And then you just have a sunroof up top. Here's a quick look at the window sticker. You can see 2025 G70 Sport Prestige, $50,545. A lot less money than the competition in this segment. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set it off. Just over the hood, put the mirrors. Got the rest of the rear. Cooled seat. Let's set off. This Genesis. Oh, we're up to 103 degrees. Slow cooking. So, first things first. Seats are pretty comfortable. It's interesting that the Sport Prestige with the 2.5 is different than the Sport Prestige with the 3.3. Like the 3.3 has a nicer interior, more features, and this, you know, it's not a bad interior, but it's yeah, it's just not as premium. So it's interesting that they give the same name for a different package in a way. It's a big truck. So, oh yeah, no turn signal camera either. Yeah, it's just less features. $10,000 price difference too, roughly. A little bit less than that, but good torque. Suspension's pretty solid. It's a nice drive. Pop it into the Sport Plus mode. And wait till we get past this car, then we'll go. Look at those, we got the Range Rover Santa Fe's. The Hyundai Range Rovers. Okay. Woo! Yeah, definitely not as quick as the V6, but not bad for the power. Not bad. It's cool with the animation they give you there. So, to sum things up here with the 2.5, this is a great deal. I mean, most of the competition, you're gonna spend over 60 grand for similar engine performance. Now the Genesis, you know, isn't quite as, I would say, it's sporty enough. It's not quite on the level of like the BMW 330i in terms of like handling, but the engine power is definitely there. Luxury is definitely there. So if you want a sporty experience that's almost there, not quite, but almost there, and then you want more horsepower, right? And more features for less money, Genesis is still playing the bargain game in this market. I think it's going to take some more time for the Euro snobs to jump ship over to Genesis. But I think just like what we saw in the 90s with Toyota and Lexus, I think we're going to see the same thing with Hyundai and Genesis and Kia in the 2020s, where they're just offering these great values, just hit after hit. And you know, it might not hit right now, but I think long term it will. And I think you're going to see a lot more people going, yeah, you know what, I want a Hyundai, I want a Genesis, right? Because again, back in the 90s, people are like, oh, Lexus, right? But now people are like, oh, Lexus is such a desirable car, right? So it's, times have changed. Let me know what you think, but Genesis still playing the value game big time.